Right, in this video I'm going to be attempting to get rid of that streak there, that blemish there, and a little bit of scratching there by using this Hycote double acrylic Ford Moon Dust Silver on my Ford Focus Mark 3.5. Alright, so obviously the colour is, I found out the colour of this car, and Ford uses Moon Dust Silver, so it's even got a number 2431C. I'm using Hycote because on their website it says it's, well, perfect finish, double acrylic, so it's got already in it lacquer, right? And bear in mind, if you was doing a real pro job, you get rid of any kind of, you would dissolve away the lacquer surface, even it out, put base layer on, spray your proper paint on, then lacquer again. But you know, obviously I can't do that here, so I'm just going to spray over lacquer, right? Lacquer over lacquer. So they are boasting that this is proper formulated so that it matches the Ford as best they can, right? So this was £8.99, I think it was, with postage. So what I'm going to do is leave a link in the description. I'll need this, some Prodec masking tape, some paper, and I'll leave all that in the description. The paper is masking paper, and also I'm going to test it out first on something very similar. Now I've got a silver looking, grey looking dustbin lid. It's got white flecks on it, very similar to this as well. So any areas that I'm not going to cover, I will mask off. So I will not mask off that little scratch there, so I'm not going to mask that off. I won't mask off that white streak or these bits here, and that little nasty blemish there. Anything else I'm going to mask off. Big areas with paper, you should see what I'm doing. So you need to cover everything. So the key to this is to treat it with kind of like an artistic kind of style, and you don't want it on thick, you don't want it dripping, you just want a thin layer. And I'm going to just basically, if you watch my hands motion, I'm just going to go over it evenly but quite a distance away, so it's a nice fine spray. But first of all, turn it away, let's give it a shake and test it on here, see what sort of colour is it. I mean, of course when it dries it's a different colour, don't forget that. So I'm going to spray it on there. Watch me spray it. I'll mask it up. By the time I mask it up, hopefully it'll dry. It says it's quick drying as well. Right, so there's the masking paper. I'll leave a link in the description. Need one of these, of course, and there's my Prodec masking tape, so you don't want to breathe anything nasty in. Right, okay, let's see what it looks like. Far enough away from the car. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. That's pretty good. Is it a bit sandy? I'm just going to put it here. That was quite, I noticed I was quite close, and obviously the object's laying flat, so I will be spraying from much further distance away. And it's got little bits of Moon Dust Silver in it, it has. Okay, come back to that. We'll watch it dry. So what I need to do is to wash the car down with soapy water in a section of the car. But before I've done that, take the mask off to sound better. I'll put some WD-40 on it, because what happens usually, you get some oily tar and grit from the other car and it was embedded in there, so a bit of WD-40 gets rid of that. So I'm going to wash this area down. In fact, I might get this bit here as well. There's ways of discoloration, that bit there. So I'll clean it. Nothing really to do. There's nothing really to watch. Just get a sponge. You know, I've given up on a lot of these fancy ways of cleaning your car. Sponge would do very well, because the pores in it will pick up any dirt and it'll sit inside the spongy holes. It gives you a good finish. get your nail to get off little bits of tar. No one that embedded in there. Road tar is right here. I'm just going to get my little brush. The paint's coming off already. Paint job I did. Get all this stuff off. I'm not really going to paint over there anyway. Bits like that. And this was someone going in the side of me. Could have been a lot worse, and I should be thankful of that. They weren't watching where they were going. Nice soapy water. Get rid of any grease. Remember WD-40 this first. I should dry it out with some towels. So I'm going to take a before and after picture. So before picture coming up. Right, so far got the bits exposed I want to do there, and the rest I'm just going to cover with paper, I think. And of course extends to the wheels, everywhere around there is going to be covered. Right, I've covered most of it, and I'm just going to test it out on a really small area. That area there. I probably need to cover this black cloth as well. Something like that going silver, then it'll be so obvious what's happened here. Although that's poking out because of the collision, I guess. Pay attention to detail, what we do. So shaking. Tiny little area I'm going to go do. See what it looks like. Here we go. So nice. It's kind of the paper. It's quick. Just a light dusting. It looks okay actually. Now if I compare it to this section here, not a lot of difference. I shall do this little section next. Wind's picking up, there you go down. Just a light. Oh, that's not too bad actually. So let's cover that completely. Right, so I'm going to cover it using a bit of paper. I don't want to go over it again. The bits I've just done, I think I'm happy with. And just cover this. You can sort of see the cracks disappear. It's got lacquer in it already, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Can't really read the fine print. Should cover the areas I've done. I'm quite happy with what's happened so far. So I don't want to overdo it. I certainly don't want to stick any bits of paint onto this paper. I do sort of lightly touch it. There's the main area. Yeah. Another main area. I forgot there's another main area, which is here. I'm going to cover this area and expose this area. Did quite well, I think. think it paint matches quite well. You can barely tell the difference, but what you don't want to do is overpaint it. That's what you don't want. That won't really make it horrible to look at. Especially when it starts dripping. Yeah. Just that. This bit. Alright, so I'm also going to at the same time do this bit up here. So a little bit here, a little bit here. This bit. And the paint, the bit I did just do, I have covered. Oh, missed it completely. Oh, look at that, that's beautiful. Just a tiny bit grey there. Here now. Okay, just here. Okay, just here. It really does match really well. That one I did across there almost entirely covered it. Making sure I'm not going to get a little square rim, you know what I mean, as you can see where there's a line of paint. Make sure I don't do that. By making it nice and thin. As thin as you can get away with. Let's get the results in a minute. And that bit looks good. Well, I very, very lightly spray over it. This bit just looks too much of a difference. So I've got an option of thinning it out. Maybe with some thinner around the edges, or just thin it out a bit. Using thinner, it might do the trick. The safest bet is a bit of WD-40. I won't strip any paint. I'm not sure about. Forget I said thinner. Let's see if I can take a layer off. Buff it off. It's not so obvious then. And buff off a microscopic layer using a very soft material, it might do the job. I'm just going to keep doing that. Right, do you remember that really nasty star-shaped thing? What I did, it was here, right? But I scratched it off the rest of the paint with my fingernails using WD-40 as a bit of a wiping tool, and I can't see this nasty star shape anymore. So I'm just going to carry on doing that using WD-40, scratching, you know, like when you scratch off transfers, no, scratch cards. It's a bit like that, but a bit tougher, right? So I know there's scratches here, but is it so that the paint seeps into the little gaps, the little tiny scratches, and the bit on the surface is scratched away by my fingernail? I'm not sure. We shall see. Anyway, that nasty bit's gone. Just going to work on this bit here. WD-40. So, quite a difficult job. A bit artistic skills needed here. Just going to keep doing. just trying to scratch out all the darker silver paint that was on there. It does feel a lot smoother than before. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. Can't really tell you exactly what's going on. And so it's treated a bit like an artistic picture. That fit looks perfect now. So hit the thumbs up if you like this video so far. Nail only. I wouldn't use any tools. Anything else would scratch it, I think. Anything even like plastic would scratch it. It's like a very tough scratch card. Look at the difference after I scratched it off between there and there. Guys, you're looking at this exactly as I'm doing it. I think have I found a new way of repairing scratches. I mean, that is a lot deeper, but that side, so this bit is not perfect. So the scratches are a lot deeper. I've been doing opposite direction to the direction of the scratch. Even that's a lot better than before. I can barely tell that has had a collision. Well, it was a collision. So I do believe this is working. Let me get a good shot of this. Hycote, the perfect finish. Especially if you buff it up after. You saw that horrible white streak, it's gone. And as much as my nails scratch it off, if you see any dark bits, I just need to scratch it off and it's gone. I can't see the scratch no more. Whether or not it could be, it is possible that the white stuff was from the other car, you know, that white flaky stuff was from the other car. Now I'm just using WD-40 to scrape off the plastic from the other car. It is possible, I'm not sure, but you tell me what you think, you try it. But that definitely, that horrible star-shaped thing is definitely hardly visible. You can feel it's been dented here. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I should take an afterwards picture for a comparison, side by side. See what you think.